Alright, Zatima fans, with the series coming out 1 month from today, I felt like it was a good time to do some speculation videos. Now, I'll do a separate one in regards to like timeline, okay, here's where Zatima takes place, that kind of stuff. Kind of giving my rough, quick thoughts on it, like a rough draft, if you will. Because we really won't know until Sistas Season 5 comes out and Zatima Season 1 comes out. Perhaps they'll reference Sistas events. We'll have to wait and see. But this is kind of a follow-up on the video I did about, whether or not Sistas cast will appear in the Zatima series. But I really wanted to focus on about 5. So these are my 5 Sistas characters that should appear in the show. Now, I know everybody might have a different list. Some people might say, I think only 2 or 3 people should show up. Other people might say 0. Look, let Zach and Fatima have their own thing. Let Sistas do their thing and, never the twins shall meet kind of thing. So, number 5. And remember, this is just my opinion. Hayden. I know a lot of people are sick of the character. I know they want him to go away from Sistas, let alone even set foot into the spinoff. But I think it's one of those things where I have no doubt we'll be visiting the law firm from time to time. And when you really think about it, unless they give Fatima other characters to interact with, as opposed to, of course, Andy, Hayden, occasionally Robin, and when Zach would show up from time to time, and then the one time Karen showed up and, confronted Fatima, that's really it, So I think Hayden might show up at some point, assuming he doesn't get fired, in terms of the sister storyline, and then there's no reason for him to show up. But it could be one of those things where it's just gotten to a point. I'm not saying Fatima and Hayden are friends or anything like that. I'm not going that far at all. But is at a point where maybe something happens to where he backs off so much that he's relegated to like a background cameo appearance or something. Or, just in terms of he lost so badly, he has nothing left to threaten Zach and Fatima with. Every time he sees Fatima, he's pissed off, but there's really nothing he could do about it because he's played every trick he can. And who knows, maybe he actually begins to pursue another woman. And I did a video on that already because Zatima does have a plan for that. Okay, number 4. Danny. And I put her so low on the list. I know a lot of people put her like number 1. Yo, Danny, Preston, they need to be up in here. Danny, for me, has just been so frustrating to deal with for the past couple of seasons. She's had her great moments where she's giving sound advice, but I think Tyler just dropped the ball with writing her character specifically when it comes to Danny's own personal life. But that could be said of a lot of these characters where their insight, their 2 cents when it comes to giving advice and helping the other characters, spot on, great stuff. They should write a book. But when it comes to their own relationship and life advice, they're just ridiculously dumb. And Danny has been so insufferable to watch, but at the same time, her chemistry with Zach or Deval on screen, him and Mignon are perfect. And I mean, out of all the sisters, Danny and Fatima, they click the best in terms of, when you look at all 4 ladies and how they mesh with Fatima's personality, Danny's the one. I mean, go back to season 2 when they all first met up. Danny and Fatima, hey, so much in common. But it's only really if Danny, A, stops tripping, and B, doesn't really just go over there to, satellite or probe the Zatima situation and then bring that information back to the girls. No, she's just there to chill, have a good time, then I'm here for it. Okay. I mean, hell, she can even cameo at the damn airport. Let's say if she isn't hanging over at Zach and Fatima's place, maybe Zach and Fatima go on a trip somewhere. You never know. Or perhaps one of Zach and Fatima's character-related buddies or family members might come into town or go out of town and they encounter Danny at the airport. No big deal. There we go. Number 3. Maurice. Now, here's the thing. I don't think Sabrina needs to cameo in the show. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But I think that there will be times that, let's say, if we don't know if Zach is going to follow Jake's advice and move his money from just a branch of a local bank to a hedge fund management company. But let's say Zach does decide to do that, or at the very least, he makes a couple more trips to the local bank that he currently has his money at. He and Maurice interacting is great because Brian and DeVal's chemistry, like DeVal, that's the thing. When you look at Sistas, whenever Zach interacts with someone he usually doesn't interact with, you just look at the vibe, or you just see the scene itself and you feel the vibe of comedy. When Maurice has been interacting with Zach, 2 or 3 times he came in the bank. Hell, the first time he came with the busted up wallet, the second time where he came in with like the suit and everything, and Maurice like, yeah man, oh it's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, those scenes were gold. Those were like top tier Maurice performances. And I think Maurice, again, like, even if Zach just goes into the bank to make a deposit or get a check, well, whatever it is, just him or Maurice interact. Like, Sabrina could be in her office and doesn't come out, that kind of thing, where maybe Zach comes in, is like, oh, don't worry, nosy Sabrina, she's in the office, I'll take care of you myself out here, and then that'll be it. So I think Maurice will be a great addition to the show. Number 2 is Andy. Kind of like Hayden, if we're going to be at the law firm where Fatima's working, Andy kind of sort of has to be there. She doesn't need to be there, but it would be nice. Now, again, they could easily say, hey, Andy gave me this job, I'm doing errands for this, or I'm running to this corner of the office for that. So the likes of Andy and Robin, they don't have to be on screen, but it's kind of hard to not have Andy at the law firm, when Fatima's working, unless we're just focusing solely on Fatima doing her job. But you could also say the new characters from the law firm will be introduced. Now, the continuity might be a bit wonky, because if you go back to season 1, it was mentioned there were only 4 black people in the law firm, 2 of which were female, Fatima and Andy. And Fatima looked up to Andy because she was the only female, lawyer or attorney at the firm. The other black people, one being Hayden and the other being Mike from Bruh, were 2 black males. But due to the fact that we got Robin in charge now, he's light, bright, damn near white, and there might be some other black characters we don't know about. So there we go. And I think that Andy truly ventured into Zatima territory at the beginning of season 4 when, she confronted Zach and Fatima about murdering Hayden and whatnot. And just the way Andy interacted, the way Andy just that look on her face as Zach and Fatima interacted and gave each other dabs and whatnot for the situation, that kind of, and I mentioned this way back during the beginning of season 4, I'm like, as soon as Andy walked out of the door and Zach and Fatima rushed upstairs to have sex, I'm like, that was the official birth of the Zatima series. Andy, yeah, definitely, because even Fatima's like, stop on by anytime. Okay, then the last person, number 1, Preston. Just the fact that his chemistry with Zach, I love the buddy-buddy relationship they had going on. Like I said, if Danny would get her shit together and those two officially became a thing and moved into the duplex of Zach's, home, on the other side that looks pretty much well furnished like him and Fatima's does, that could have been the spinoff. But nope, Danny be tripping. And that's really but then again, is Preston coming back in Sister season 5? I believe so. He was filming it, so I don't know. Well, I don't know why he comes back, but hell, the hijinks him and Zach will get into will be hilarious. Like, he comes for money, so it's not like, he was broke and now he wants to mooch off Zach. So Preston's pretty well off, and it's just one of those things where we could definitely see some more interactions between Cowboy and, all the black friends that Zach has. And what's his name? Bryce. He's like Asian, I believe. He's the man that goes out with Fatima's bestie, Angela. So, hey, here we go. All right, so we got Preston, Andy, Maurice, Danny, and Hayden as the 5 Sistas characters I would like to pop up in Zatima at some point. in season 1 or possibly season 2. What Sistas cameos would you like to make an appearance in the Zatima series? And if you have a different list in mind, feel free to comment in the comment section below. But before you close out, make sure you take a moment, hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below, and I will talk to you later.